Well, we're finally at a point where good sounding keyboards aren't expensive anymore. 2024 was a crazy year for keyboards, with a bunch of well-priced keyboards that just sound like heaven. There is genuinely not a better time to invest in a keyboard if you plan to make keyboard ASMR videos than now. I bought a Lucky 65 V2, and while it was just a little over a year newer than my GMK67, which was an insane value at the time by the way, it was a massive upgrade. Gone are the days when you'd have to sell for this, and heck, gone are the days where you had to mod a keyboard. I'm serious. Most companies already do quality mods to their keyboards. I mean, look at what foams and dampening layers my keyboard came with. And it costs only 2,700 pesos, or in dollars, 50 bucks. That does beg the question, how do I know which one to get? Because while these two keyboards are the exact same price, one sounds like this, and one sounds like this. Stick around, I'll show you what to look for. I hope that this video will help people either purchasing keyboards for fun, for work, or for making ASMR content like me, so leave a like and let's start. Alright, so you typically have to choose between two kinds of keyboards, pre-builds or keyboard kits. Pre-built keyboards are complete functional keyboards with keycaps and switches, while keyboard kits only give you a case for you to pick and buy your own keycaps and switches. Keyboard kits only give you a case and PCB for you to pick and buy your own keycaps and switches. Keyboard kits are what I use, which is why when someone asks what keyboard I have, I don't usually respond because it's a lot more complicated. For people completely new to keyboards, this is a mechanical keyboard, which has individual switches and separate keycaps. This is a membrane keyboard, or a scissor switch keyboard in laptops. These usually lack the customization and the typing noise and feel that's normally wanted in a keyboard. Let's just focus on mechanical keyboards today, which have customizable keycaps, switches, and etc. Switches have three sound profiles: clicky, linear, and tactile. Clickies sound like this, and linears and tactiles sound practically the same, except tactiles have a small bump in the middle. Although personally, I prefer the linears or clickies more for ASMR, but I can't really go wrong with any. Now that the crash course is done, let's start shopping. For my fellow Filipinos, I'll be using Shopee as the marketplace, so if you're American, use an online converter or divide the prices by 50. So 5,000 pesos is roughly $100. Let's start! Yeah, I'm gonna be showing you guys like how to find the keyboards. As I said in the intro, if you are like from other countries, do use like a unit converter. I'm gonna be here with pesos since that's what I'm most familiar with. But yeah, let's go and start. So firstly, the search term that you're gonna be putting is mechanical keyboard, alright? Not just the keyboard, alright? We need a mechanical keyboard since that's what's going to be like customizable and stuff. Alright, so here are a few keyboards, and I'm gonna tell you which one you're gonna need. So, what I'd recommend doing is just searching a random keyboard. For example, we have a GMK87, which, as you can see, is around like 3,000 pesos, which is around like $50. And this is the bare bones kit, so basically you're still gonna have to fit this with like your own switches and stuff. As for switches, there's a lot. You have to make sure about a few things. First off, your switches have to be lubed. Alright, that's probably the most important part, is that your switches have to be lubed. But don't worry, because in marketplaces there's a lot of like really nice switches. So for example, this thing over here is what I actually use. Like this, these are KTT Kang Whites. These are what I use. The difference between this one and mine is that mine was lubed already, so this one is not a lubed KTT Kang White, and honestly it's gonna sound a little different. Again, there are some switches like this one. That's the one that I got. The seller already hand lubed it themselves, so that's the one that I got, the KTT Kang Whites. So yeah. But as you can see, most of these switches are already pretty good. For example, this one over here, the Gateron Milky. Again, if these are lubed, then these are already pretty nice. You can get these lubed. These are already pretty nice. Some Akko, like this one, like I'd say this is the one that I actually recommend because it's pretty cheap and it already has pretty good factory lubing. If you're looking for stock, I'd actually recommend J-Wick Blacks that are lubed. These are probably like my favorite Thocky switch in my opinion that are not like, because Oil Kings are really expensive. Again, if you can check the sound profile of the switches in YouTube. You know, some switches are a little clackier than others, some switches are a little more Thocky, some switches have like harder actuation or like they're harder to press. You can just check on YouTube and find which one suits you. That's the thing about bare bones, you can actually choose which switches you want. And you can also choose which keycaps you want. So just look for PBT keycaps basically. Just look for PBT keycaps. Even cheap sets are going to do the job if I'm being honest. So just like again, like these are already fine, right? Cheap sets do the job. That's probably what most pre-builds have anyway. And yeah, this one also comes with a fully built option, as you can see, like black hole machine, 3600. I'll tell you right now, this is worth it, alright? GNKG.ph, personally I trust this shop for good keyboards, alright? I trust this shop. This one sells really nice keyboards, like look, Maker Galaxy 70, Wake have Record, this is my dream keyboard, Record Alice. So I'm gonna go and just browse the shop, and as you can see, most of these are actually already pretty good keyboards. Now, when you look for free builds, make sure it has 3 terms: foams, gaskets, and lube switches, alright? Let me go to another tab, let me go and duplicate this and show you what to not look for. So again, you want a clicky keyboard, right? You want a clicky keyboard. Please, for the love of God, do not buy this. Okay, so gaming keyboards, I'd recommend just like ignoring them because most of them have like a really high price tag for what they offer. This one, especially now, it's 7,000 pesos. When this thing, like, you could just buy, this is what I used to use as my main. I still have this. You could just buy this, get like, just get this, alright? I think this is a really good deal. Also, if you like Cable Box Jades, then go ahead, but just don't get like blue switches from like gaming companies, just no. Okay, I'm glad that when I search up gaming keyboard, I actually get greeted with like good keyboards. So the Leobog High 75, that's pretty good. Aula makes a really popular keyboard, like look, Aula F75. This one, easy recommendation to a lot of you guys if you're just starting out. This is like $50 and it sounds freaking fantastic, alright? It sounds really good, alright? I even want this for myself. This is the keyboard that I now use. It's around $55 for bare bones, and as you can see, like, I got obviously the black silver one, and this thing is like a steal, dude. So just easy recommendations, I recommend the Aula F75. If you're just starting out, I'd recommend the Aula F75. If you can afford it, I'd also go for the Rainy 75. It's a little bit more expensive. This is like $100, but man, this is quality, alright? This is quality, Rainy 75. I also recommend like Maker keyboards. And again, like something like this. This one, I'd also recommend, like, this one is like the Dracula Castle. Again, I'd also recommend that since they have like cream yellow and cream blue pros. Those are the ones that I'm advising you to get. And yeah, I'm not sure. For me, I'm not much of a software user, so I don't really look at if it like supports QNK or VIA, but if it does support QNK and VIA, that's probably a good sign that they're actually good keyboards. You gotta make sure that they're pretty recent. When you look up reviews, there are days where you really need to mod keyboards just for them to sound good. A lot of the keyboard manufacturers nowadays just do that for you, and you can just pick switches and keycaps to find what you like, and you're done. That's my horrible buying guide. I'm just really trash on like on the spot advice, but it's whatever, honestly. So brands that I recommend: Akko, Maker, Aula, what else? Wacab, Yunzii. Like, these are brands that I recommend. Brands that I don't recommend: Logitech, Razer, Corsair. I would take no-name brands that have like gasket performance and everything over those like 3 brands. So make sure you're not getting ripped off, alright? Make sure you're not getting ripped off, alright? That's all I ask. And again, if something is a good price, it's fine if it's like really horrible value. if it's a good price, it sounds good, it does what you want to do, then that's the keyboard for you. You don't really need to search too much, right? You don't have to overthink, because most keyboards, they just sound good nowadays.